One last question here this week, Jim. This one's from Ron Bosch. No relation to Paul Bosch, because different spelling of the name. Ron says, hi, I'm from New York City. First of all, I want to thank you for your constant promotion of NWA Legends Fan Fest. It was the reason I decided to take the trip. It was great to meet you and Stacy. I owe her a song at the karaoke. I left with I'm a Jim Cornette Guy t-shirt, mug, and Midnight Express book from Cornette's Collectibles. I had a wonderful time, and I'm glad I attended. I wanted to ask you this question during the live experience, but Bobby Fulton.
Say no more. Yeah. Say no more. Wink's as good as a nod to a blind man.
And this is a good question for this week. When I started watching wrestling in the mid-90s, you were managing Yokozuna, Owen Hart, and the British Bulldog. You had three of the most notorious ribbers in that faction, with the late great Fuji, Owen, and Davey. Did the three ever join forces or try to outrib each other? Also, were you ever on the receiving end?
Well, I've told the story and I don't want to go into it here because it's been done, and you can order actually a Corny in the UK, the documentary of my first trip to the United Kingdom from JimCornette.com, along with all my other fine merchandise. And you can hear the story of when Owen and Davey ribbed me with the phone call from Stu Hart. They ribbed me because it wasn't a rib. Say no more. But no, they liked me, thankfully, so they didn't perpetrate too many on me, and they ribbed some guys they liked also. But I mentioned Fuji at the time, was the kinder, gentler Fuji, and he was older then, and he was the wise old veteran. But Owen and Davey, I was only there for TVs, and I guess also because I was an office member. They didn't want to go too far, so they took it easy on me because, it could have been brutal. But their best ribs were at house shows and on the road, with a lot of time. I didn't spend a lot of time on the road with the guys there, thankfully. I may have ended up, duct taped to a tree with my pants around my fucking ankles or whatever. But it was... you always had to be on your toes, even at TV tapings, because they do the mild shit, like, taking the squirt bottle of water that they used for phony sweat and squirting the front of my pants when I didn't see it. So I'd be standing there doing interviews and it looked like I'd pissed myself and shit like that. But where Owen really shined was on the phone at the hotel in the middle of the night when he'd jack guys up out of bed claiming he was the guy at the front desk and they had to come down and pay right then, or he was going to call the police, or, asking them to go out and try to help find a prowler that had been seen around the breezeway of their area or whatever the fuck. That's when their talents really shone through. But thankfully I was spared a lot of that, just, except for the big one with the bat phone. And it really was Stu. So it was a double reverse rib. They ribbed me because I thought, because of their reputation, that it couldn't possibly be Stu. And then it was. More on that when you order the A Corny in the UK DVD. Although the night I told it, I think we were in, gosh, was it Manchester or Birmingham? And Georgia Smith, Davy's daughter, was there to hear that, and she loved it. So it was, he was from Manchester. Yeah, so it had to be Manchester. Anyway, so there you have it.
There you have it.